All right, man. Detroit Lions put elbows, foot, toes, and everything else on the Washington Commanders. Obviously, Jaden Daniels didn't play. I believe he had a dislocated elbow or elbow injury during the broadcast. They said he would need surgery. The Lions destroyed him. I mean, I think that was to be expected. I didn't think Washington believed they had a chance even on Veterans Day. And with POS, Donald Trump being in there, I don't think they figured they had a chance. And, you know, the Lions corrected it. And then I'll address the elephant in the room. Y'all know when I speak on it. But golf was great today. 25 or 33, 320, no sacks. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Mariota, 6 for 22, 213, 2 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs had a day. The carries was split right down the middle. 15 for Montgomery, even though he got some garbage time carries at the end. 15 for Gibbs. Gibbs doubled up, but like I said, Montgomery keeps Gibbs fresh, and Gibbs keeps Montgomery fresh. It's a beauty in the balance, and people think, hey, if you give those 15 carries to Jahmyr Gibbs, he can have 300. It don't work that way. He is more susceptible to injuries. And over there, Jakari Crosby Merritt, he led them in rushing, 11 carries, 30 yards. Seemed like their rushing attack was better than what it showed, but they was in a lot of situational runs or short runs. They did great. And then Jack Campbell stopped Jakari right on that goal line. That was stone cold. J-Mo came out tonight. No Diddy. 6 catches, 119, 1 TD. Amon-Ra St. Brown, people talking about he had another drop, but 1 second. I think so fucking irritating. People said he had a drop, but I think Bobby Wagner tipped that. That's why he didn't catch it. Sam Laporta, 5 catches, 53 yards. I mean, Raymond, 4 catches for 9 yards over there. Traylon Burks, I'm like, where did he come from? 3 catches, 58. Some of them catches came early in the game. Excuse me. Zach Ertz had some good catches, 454. Debo, 4 for 29. Had that 1 catch, but then was caught back. Thought we was going to see more Tesla. We seen more Raymond. He had a really good game, 4 catches, 49 yards. Campbell, stone cold stop on the 2-point conversion. Branch I thought he had 2 sacks for 1.5. They did their thing, Terrion did get injured. Let me double check and see what's going on with him. But honestly, it just out-fizzled them. I-fizzled the Commanders. Honestly, even if they did, I think they saying Terrion has a concussion. So he had a concussion. So hopefully get well. But even with Jaden Daniels, they defense it was crashing out. I mean, you had Deron Payne, from Alabama, punch St. Brown. And obviously there probably was some words being exchanged there between St. Brown and was talking shit, and he punched him, and some guys can't take it. Some guys you play the dozens with or you talk shit to, and that's part of the game. Hopefully Deron Payne wasn't talking shit, because if you're able to talk shit, you got to be able to take it. That's just what it is. You can't talk shit and then want to fight when somebody getting the best of you. That's the one thing about the comedy game. You really determine your greatness, as a class clown or a dozens or a cap champion, or, even if as a comedian. You got to be able to laugh at yourself. You got to be able to take it. And a lot of these guys, you getting your ass whooped, he talking shit. And they probably was talking a lot of shit last year. Like I said, don't dish it if you can't take it. And that's just the God honest truth. If we up 21, and I know I'm not gonna start talking trash if I can't take it. Flat out. Just be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Just shut the hell up. But when we down, guess what? I'm gonna shut the hell up too. But trash talking game is very interesting. But yeah, he hit him, and we didn't know what went on, but the camera crew at Fox, They did their job. They was the eyes in the sky. There's a ribbon in the sky. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Stevie. But but yeah, couldn't take it. Couldn't take it. Probably was talking cash money last year. And now you getting hands, foot, toes, and elbows put on you. Now you wanna, now you wanna start. I'm a victim. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you gotta run that trap. You gotta take it. I remember Michael Jordan on the Last Dance said, when the Hornets had upset them in the playoffs for one game, he said they start talking shit when they went up. He said, let's start talking shit when it's 0-0. Don't be a front runner. All right. But, I think I think two of the Commanders hit the referee twice. Not sure they was ejected, but Gibbs is still running. Gibbs, running and slashing and getting it tough. You're 1 week, he the best running back to Lions fans. Next week, he fell off. You know what I'm saying? You hearing those things like 1 week is Bijan. I gotta understand. This is the National Football League. People are programmed to stop those guys. Everybody's not going to replicate what Brian Flores did in Minnesota, what Todd Bowles, this defense did, and what Green Bay did. But who do need to be replicating what they did is the Detroit Lions defense. All them exotic looks, their teams are going to try to mimic that. You might see Minnesota again. You might see Green Bay again. They have to be prepared for those raps, some stunts, all the exotic pressures, who coming, who going. And basically, that's just going to be those offensive linemen, the tight end, even the whole offense knowing watching that tape to the T, watching that tape to the T, looking for tips and all that type of stuff, right? But the remedy for going against that is running right at it, because once somebody got so many people at the line of scrimmage, if the running back is able to break that first wave, ain't no help. It's you and the safety when they put that many people at the line of scrimmage. So, today they did a great job moving mountains. I mean, they got a hellified defensive line, front seven. They've been way more improved as the run stopping this year. From what I remember, I know they kind of slipped the last two games. They got Eddie Goldman there. They got Preston Smith over there. They had Deron Payne. I don't know if Jonathan Allen's still over there balling. What happened with him? But ultimately, Von Miller, he was 70 though. But ultimately, what the Lions did, it flowed well. And the elephant in the room is obviously the play calling. Some people are saying John Morton wasn't calling the plays. It was Dan Campbell. Some people say, well, Dan Campbell had a playbook and he had an input. But it seems like if Dan Campbell wasn't calling those plays, he had a hell of a lot of an input of what's going on. But and to be honest, it flowed better than it had at any point of this season. It flowed better even than that 50 ball they put on Chicago. It flowed better than Baltimore. It actually felt like they got into a rhythm today. They was able to get into the rhythm. I mean, look at the balance. 33 pass attempts, 33 run attempts. I think a lot of times they were focusing on getting the ball to St. Brown, Raymond, and J-Mo, and they probably looked at the tape and was like, look, Raymond is open. You know what I'm saying? Raymond is open. And we just gonna go to the open guy. We're gonna run the ball, get back to our identity. We're gonna split those carries, keep each other fresh, and that's what they did. So, honestly, I don't know what was going on. I did know that clip that Dan Campbell said when he admonished a lot of y'all probably didn't read until like I did, but he kind of like took a shot at John Morton. He took a shot at him. He said that maybe it's the play calling that's bad. He said that. He said maybe the play calling was bad. Hold on. You a victim. Let's see if we can get back in here. Let's see if we can get that in there. My bad, y'all. See what he had to say. But look at what Dan had to say. And look at his face. All his body language.
An example of just a little twitch that.
Well, the only thing I'd say, part of it could be with the way the game is called. It could be maybe rhythm of how you call it. It could be what you go to. You know, it could be who you're trying to get involved. You know, I hate to give away a plan. You know, that's and I got it. I understand what you're asking too. It's like I don't get, you know, but it can be a number of different things. You know, it's about as good as I can do for you, right?
So, yep, you heard what he had to say. So, it wouldn't be surprised to me if he, he called those plays. And if he, I want to see what they say when they had a press conferences before I make any videos and see what they have to say. But it seemed like he's had a lot of input today, and could John Morton days be numbered? I mean, could this be a learning experience for John Morton? I'm not sure. I'm legit not sure. But ultimately, I really think that was a response to John Morton kind of pointing the finger at the offensive line. But whoever was calling the plays today, if it was a collaboration, I think they did a great job calling plays today, in my opinion. If it flowed like it hasn't flowed this season, they had a great rhythm. And whatever that contraption they put together today, that's what they need. That's what they kind of more or less need to go with. It's the balance. I say, when you start going against Green Bay and Tampa and Minnesota with those exotic looks, you got to line up, play heavy, got to run at those looks. You know what I'm saying? Got to run them out those looks. But hey, big win for the Lions, 44-22. Belt the ass, foot, toes, and elbows on the Commanders. Hit the link tree. You can find me first in the description. Find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.